We've known for a while that gut health is intrinsically linked to mental health as well, and having good, healthy gut flora is really important. And if you're an individual that eats a lot of processed foods, or has been on a lot of painkillers, or has been through a lot of different psych meds and has been on meds for a long time, there's a good chance that you're actually dealing with some pretty ugly gut health going on, and there might be some gastric distress, which is also going to affect your mental health, because most of the serotonin that we produce in our bodies is actually made down there in the gut. And if you don't have good gut health, your body's not going to be producing enough serotonin. Now, probiotics are a great solution to this, except that, the good probiotics are really expensive. So a nice alternative to probiotics is something called lacto-fermented foods. And these are cheap and easy to make. You can use cabbage, you can use cucumbers, you can use carrots, you can use beets, you can use parsnips. Basically any firm vegetable that's going to stand up to a week's worth of fermentation is going to be ideal. I've done it with broccoli, Brussels sprouts, beets. My wife loves this mixture of beets, onions, and carrots that I make. Oh, but that's beside the point. All you really need is veg, water, and sea salt. And there's a lot of different ways to do this, and you can do it on the cheap. When I first started doing lacto-fermented foods, my first fermentation crock was a crock pot insert that I got at the Goodwill, a plate that fit inside the crock, and then a lid that went on top of the crock. And that was it. I spent maybe $3 at the Goodwill, and suddenly, boom, I was in business to make all the lacto-fermented foods I want. And it's super easy. You chop up the vegetables, you put it in the crock, you cover it with water and salt, and then you let it sit for about a week. There's lots of recipes online. There's lots of recipes on YouTube. There's even tutorials on YouTube on how to do this. And lacto-fermented foods are medicinal. So even if you're oh, but I don't want to eat that, all you got to do is consume a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons a day of these foods, and they actually start to help produce more lactobacillus in the gut. And they actually give lactobacillus to the gut, and they help your gut to start healing and producing lactobacillus. There's a great book out there called Wild Fermentation. I highly recommend it. That was the first book I used when I started doing fermentation, and it has helped me, it has helped my wife, it has helped my family, it has helped my clients, and it's so much less expensive than the probiotics in the market. And generally, lacto-fermented foods actually have 10 times the amount of lactobacillus in them than your average probiotic, and it's live culture as opposed to static culture. So yeah, give it a try. Lacto-fermented foods. Super easy, super fun, and gosh darn tasty if you like pickled foods. Yeah.